Boom, getting released from prison. I'm home now. Do you know what? The first artist or producer that I started managing was a producer called Firstborn. Firstborn was a producer. First producer that I started co-managing. Started understanding the game. Obviously, he featured in one of Stormzy's first mixtapes, and I started understanding the game a lot. Do you know what I mean? The man them had LA, the Mitchum ones, Beans. They had a studio in Carl Shorten. A lot of talent came there. You get me? A lot of talent came there. I used man's network to bring in a lot of talent to have studio sessions. I remember, obviously, being in jail with Dig That's brother. And I remember him saying, "Oh yeah, my brother does music," like, and I'm just like, "Yeah, I just want to be a manager. Like, let's go." You get me? I remember everyone linking up at the studio, and that was the studio that a lot of great things happened. You get me? I'm linked up with M Huntro. Obviously my project that'll come up. Obviously, you got a song with at the time there was a DJ called Josh Wavy. She wanted to be a producer. I linked her up with Firstborn and whatnot. And do you know what I mean? Then Young Ads and jumped on that song, the hook. Can you remember it? And then obviously I put Nave Smalls on it. So it was like, yeah, I started managing the producer and started understanding how hard it is. You get me? Because obviously it's not easy. Everyone's got a producer. You think you got your obviously with music artists. Sometimes even with people that are close to you, they might prefer to go with the producers that they've been working with. You know what I'm trying to say? So, and obviously me coming out of prison is like, oh, my man's done this much years in prison. He might be still on the same bullshit that he was. Like, the world's changed. You know what I'm trying to say? So anyway, cool. I remember it. We've locked in that studio. There was another producer, Michelin. He's doing big things now. I managed him in the past, just before I started quitting music, but he's been doing amazing things. And he was in the studio, and yeah, man, they had a great setup. There was a great setup. And I remember, I just wanted to be a manager. I just wanted to be a music manager. That's the times that I'm home, just wanting to be a music manager. I asked to manage quite a lot of artists. I'm not going to mention their name, you get me, because just to stay professional, but they didn't really see it in me. Obviously, I understand. And at the time, the number one music manager was Gov. I always respect Gov. Like, he inspired me to be a music manager. I always will say that, you get me? He had a long roster of artists, you get me? And he was doing his thing, and he's still doing his thing. So big respect to him. And then, yeah, no, I needed to make my name for myself. But no one taught me the game. I had to learn, you get me? My friends are musicians, so in the management side, there's not many things that they know. So everything that I learned and everything that I done, it was like unorthodox. There was no, like, no, I don't go by a template. I just kind of just went, and we just, you get me? I guess that God or was watching, man was around good energies. So yeah, man, that times there, I remember I used to wake up early in the morning, you get me, pick up Joss Wavy, you get me, go all the way to Car Shooter and go to the studio, you get me, get artists in. And it was kind of easy. I remember even D-Block Europe coming in, M. Humphrey coming in, Young Tef coming in. I've got all these pictures, old school pictures on my phone. And this is kind of the starting of it, you get me? Obviously, linking up with Dig That there, making songs, you get me? Number of songs, you get me? Tactics and all these other songs that you see online. Remember Dig That dropping first Souls and Joints single, you get me? First one. I think the week that got dropped was the week that I started managing him. And yeah, man, understanding the algorithms on social media, on Instagram, it's always different, isn't it? My man's just paying for to get more exposure. A lot of artists, they don't like to pay for things these days, you get me? It's mad, you get me? But it's like the only way is music is a lot harder. So if you don't pay for things, you're just gonna not go nowhere, you get me? And then more serious people are gonna go places. You know what I'm trying to say? So, and my mindset then was like, I'm hungry. I want it. I'm home now. I've done 10 years, and I just want to get to work. You get me? And just obviously there was, I think, a lot of music artists now. There's a lot of pressure on them, innit? We always talk about numbers, this much sales. We wasn't as aware of these things. You get me? It was just drop a song. The goal was to get that premiere on GRM. Do you know what I mean? And just build connections within the platforms. You get me? It wasn't really, didn't really know too much about the industry. It was just build connections on the platform. You get me? And drop. We didn't know what Google Ads was. Had no idea. Man's just come from prison. That's all new to man. Don't know, understand business. I've kind of just worked at Timpson's, and now I'm getting into entertainment. I've done the events. I've lost around £30,000 from the events. It wasn't great, but I did understand like building a good brand. But it's like when you've got your own capital and you're willing to invest and you keep losing money, you have to kind of look at other areas. You obviously don't want to go back to the roads. And for me, I was thankful enough to make quite a lot of capital in jail, just being transparent and coming home and then investing it in the right areas. It was, you get me? We didn't know what would happen with Dig That or the other people or whatnot. It was just staying consistent. You get me? Like staying consistent. And a lot of artists or a lot of business owners, you get me? Sometimes they're stuck with certain things, and man asks them like, you get me? Have you posted? Like for me, it's like you gotta understand. I'm coming from the mindset of getting 5,000 flyers printed out and giving out 5,000 flyers. Get me? Like that's it. Like giving out 5,000 flyers. Like mindset of 2,000 posters getting printed out. And after work, going around and putting up 2,000 posters, not knowing that I might get in trouble or not. So I've come from that mindset of like, man is working. Like now I'm working. Like, do you know what I mean? That's why in my head I'm saying, look, I'm going to post 365 videos and you're going to be watching this from now. And then when you see in the next year or so, the rewards of what happened right here, you're going to be like, oh, it's not easy, but it takes years of consistency, but it will happen. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And coming out of prison, just being hungry for it and always looking at other areas to elevate. You get me? Looking at other areas to elevate and grow. And yeah, I was fortunate. I had a lot of people that was inside the scene to give me the right advice. But you got to understand this, and we need to understand in music, yeah? Coming home, you can have your friends. Stormzy can be number one, but Andre, as a music artist, can be coming up. Doesn't mean that they're gonna make a song with Stormzy because they're mad close. You can get the advice, but you need to make it make sense for Stormzy to make that song. You need to make a hit song, and it's not easy to make that hit song. That's why there's not many hit songs like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And the thing that I was fortunate about is before I was always emotionally attached to artists, products. Like I always like put my all, be emotionally attached. Now I just think of the business. Like, does the business make sense? Like Sairu, man's in charge and focusing on his marketing. And it's like, he's a brand. Man's in charge, focusing on the marketing. But I'm not attached to the person. You know what I mean? Because I understand, for me, I come in to do a job. Get my case studies, get the accolades, smile that man's helped assist, get someone from the hood out of the hood, which he's still in the hood. So man's got a lot of work to do. But the reason why I'm speaking about this now is because this is currently the guy that's one to watch. Get me? And 2025, you're going to see. 2024, 4 months, you've seen. And it's like, forget about talking about all the stuff that I used to do 6 years ago, 7, like, do you know what I mean? Talk about now, because music marketing has changed now, and man's adapted to it and understood the direction of like how artists can develop. But anyway, mindset conversation, being out for 6 months, going to the studio, figuring it out, picking this song, music videos, linking up with cameramen, building up my phone book. You get me? Because it's very important. If you're in any sort of fields, you got to build up your phone book. You got to build up your connections. Because it's like, for me in music now, it's easy. Like, producers, I need this beat remade, or I need a beat here, or I need a beat pack, artwork, you know what I mean, mix and mastering, editors, or this or that. Like, I've got it on a phone book. Like, it's quick, bam, 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 bam. So it's very important to build up the relationships and have them relationships for a number of years, because it's like, it makes things more easier. But guys, it's like what I understood, when you first start something, you're always going to learn the hard way. You're always going to learn the hard way, unless you pay for some sort of community, or you pay for a mentor that will give their connections to you, and then you know, okay, cool, you got the right connections with these people, so you're not really going to learn the hard way. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But it's like, starting as an entrepreneur, starting as a businessman, and understanding business, you got to be willing to work for free for many years and not get paid a penny. But at the same time, you got to have a source of income. Do you know what I mean? And you can't be disheartened. You have to keep turning up every single day. But at the same time, not being complacent. Because when you're complacent, it's like things might not start moving. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, for example, I do this raw footage, yeah? This raw content. But I know the short form content goes viral, and there's certain hooks that I say to gather people that don't follow me's attention. But this raw content now, it might get 100, 200, 500 views. Now that's amazing. Now if I keep on doing this every single day, and I keep on talking about subjects or what I'm going through or mindset, there's people that can relate to me and it's going through the same thing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But in the eyes of, I'm only getting 200 views. I've been getting 200 views for the past 2-3 years, but nothing's happening. Okay, cool, but I've got this. I know this is targeting this. But then if I now do the short form content in other platforms like the TikTok, the YouTube Shorts, or the Instagram, that's going to build me up and get more traction and make people be like, do you know what? Let me go look at his long form content. So don't let, like, what I'm kind of visioning and what I'm basically saying, guys, is like the first steps of me coming out of prison and obviously working at Timpson's, having the events company, stopping all of that, and now going into the road of being a music manager. It was a step where it's like, I need to figure it out, but I'm working. I'm going to learn every single day. Do you know what I mean? I'm not talking about I'm going to earn this, I need to earn this. I don't even know what I'm going to earn. I don't know how I'm going to earn it. I don't know how much Spotify pays. But I'm going to show up every day and stay consistent. I'm going to think outside the box, meet new people, build up my phone list, and keep on going. It happens in any business. Any business that you're in, you're going to do so. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But now it's kind of more easier because we have more social media. We know on TikTok, you don't have to have big following to make content, stay consistent, hit the algorithms, and go viral. You get me? So it's just like understanding, having the funnel to that. So yeah, man. Going into that, it was like, yeah, at that time, I think, started managing a producer. At that time, I was meant to be managing the DJ, but obviously I think she had other management, but was locked in, and then obviously started managing Dig That. And that's where everything kind of started. Drill, I didn't know what drill was. What was drill? Drill music, I had no idea. when I jumped in it, I heard drill will never chart. That's what they were telling, man. Drill will never chart. You had all these people the podcast people laughing like drill will never chart. But I don't even know what the charts are. You get me? Man's just come in and being creative, stepping outside the box and working on solid projects. Like when man think about it now, all the stuff that I used to do and post, because it was building my personal brand, innit? Like I was building my personal brand and the artist. When I first discovered the artist, he had 100 followers. You get me? 100 followers. You get me? I think he's gone up to almost 500,000 followers now. So imagine that, dig that, like 100 followers going up to 500 followers. And I think I had more followers than him. Obviously, I think I had like maybe 5,000 followers. But that was a big thing then, 2018. I made my Insta when I was on home leave, 2016, 17. Everyone came, not my town visit, everyone came up on my town visit. Boom, boom, boom. Crazy posts, yeah. But yeah, I remember just using my platform. One thing you hear, what's one thing a lot of artists have that work with me have an advantage than everyone else is I used to use my platform to push the artist first. Like everything you will see will either be dig that, look man, this person, I'm pushing. Now you see certain posts side route, do you know what I mean? So it's like, but TikTok, I've managed to obviously own multiple TikTok accounts. And obviously I have softwares, you get me, AI automations, things that obviously gems that you guys will never understand and not know, but I will explain it to you and give you lot insights so you lot can do the same. But it's like testing out models, having 6 TikTok accounts and having 7 TikTok accounts all posting other sorts of content. So you're like, boom, I'm everywhere. You know what I mean? I'm everywhere. Then now thinking, okay, cool, what I'm going to do is own 15 TikTok accounts or 20 TikTok accounts, but I'm going to make 200 bits of content. And these 200 bits of content is going to go out all at the same time. You get me? Or it's going to go out 3 times during the day, but it's going to be talking about the same things. See, that's the mindset of like, okay, cool. If man can do that with artist development, if man can do that with developing businesses, helping businesses to scale, or helping my own business scale, that's kind of where man's at now. But it's like, in order for my mind to have got here is I had to have come out of prison, 6 months, worked hard, graft, not have no expectations, invested. Everything that I'd done, I invested my money. That's the thing. I invested my money. That's what makes me different between everyone else. My last dime, I will invest it and figure it out. God's always got a plan and God will always take you out some sort of hole. Trust me. And when you're in a hole, that just means you have to work harder. Like if someone put a gun to your head and said, today, if you don't get a cell, I'm going to shoot you dead. And that's me being dramatic, but I'm just letting you know. What are you going to do? You're going to fucking work your hardest, bro, and you're going to get that cell. You're going to get that cell. So just understand the mental that my mindset is in, and no one can't match that work rate. So yeah, man, that's just kind of just telling you, building a multi-million-pound personal brand and the starting of it. The next video, I'll probably talk about, obviously, dig that's come up. I'll talk about it in one video so that I can go into different sections and then end it with the little man come up, because everything happens in certain sequences. But yeah, man, obviously I didn't even get to tell you guys to make sure you like, subscribe, because I just went straight into it. But if you're liking this content and you want more of this content, please like the content, because obviously it goes out to more bigger reach, and make sure you subscribe. Yeah, man, let me get my training going. Let me get this 75 hard going. The 5th of January, whoosh.